Hello and welcome back. It is Sunday afternoon. I am not stuck at my day job, so here I am. Hello and welcome. This is Morgan's Lazy Sunday Afternoon live stream / productivity stream / snacking stream. I might get a snack.
Snack stream. Yes.
Right. So today I have the one, the only Doc Coleman with me.
Hello, folks. I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. And you can find me and all my stuff by searching your favorite search engine for Doc Coleman Steampunk. There you will find my novel, The Perils of Prague, a collection of short stories, and a few other publications and anthologies that I've been a part of.
Meanwhile, I haven't actually published anything yet. I think today I'm going to be finishing up reworking my query letter. I do not think I'm going to be sending query letters this week because it's back to school. A lot of people got hit by the storm, especially up in that publishing area around New York City. And this week was #PitMad on Twitter, in which thousands and thousands of people Twitter pitched their stuff. If you get a like from an agent, that is a request for you to query, which basically gets you at the front of the query stack. It does not increase your odds of them saying yes, but it does, maybe.
It at least says you managed to catch their interest.
You caught their eye and you get a second look is basically what it gets you. I participated and I got 50 new followers, so I call it a win. But a lot of people are either querying agents or were waiting for this event and are going to query agents anyway. Not all agents obviously participate. The thread is very full, so it's very hard to see anything. I dislike the fact that Twitter pitch events encourage you to retweet other people to show support. I think it just clutters the thread, but I'm not the one determining how Twitter pitch events are supposed to go. Nobody asked me. So, yeah. Oh, no, I finished fixing up my query letter. What I'm working on is making my synopsis sound less like a summary, a cut, dry summary. I want it to sound more like a story.
Or at least a lead into a story.
Right. Well, I mean,
wrong. Is a synopsis supposed to be the entire story or just part of the story?
Synopsis is the entire story. The query has the first third up to the decision point.
Okay.
So, assuming a 3-act structure, if you have a 5-act, 7-act, or more episodic thing, it's up to you. But yeah. I mean, you don't have to have a 3-act structure to have a story. You do need some level of pacing, though. Otherwise, most of your readers are going to wander off at some point.
Well, you've got to at least keep the reader's attention.
Right.
Some of us do that with cliffhangers. So.
Right. I have to admit, my favorite example of the reverse of a story boring you to death is Matrix 2. I went to go see the movie years and years and years ago, and it begins with a 40-minute long chase scene. And cars and fighting and things and stuff. And let me tell you, the bar for getting Morgan excited about a thing is pretty low. It doesn't take much. I'm very excitable. I am very willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't make you earn it. But that doesn't mean you can't kick me out of things. And I was on the edge of my seat for 5-10 minutes. And then I put my arms down. And then I was like, oh my God, can we get to the plot? And just waiting for it to end. So there is such thing as too much action. And I personally have an issue with a lot of the urban fantasy stories happen in one day. And I understand some days are really busy and a lot of traumatic things can happen. But for a book to only take place over one day.
Yeah, sometimes it's absolutely frightening how compressed the time frame some of these books are.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Fury?
I don't think so.
It was super depressing, really, really accurate depiction of a guy who gets brought onto a tank during World War II. And, they just go through all these things and stuff. And you realize at the end of the movie, it's a very intense movie, if you have PTSD, warning before you go in. But at the end of the movie, you realize all of these things happened in one day. Yeah. And I realize a movie and a book is shorter than a day in the life, but that level of pacing, it can totally work. I just think it might be a little overdone to have a story take place in one day.
Well, what was it? The 24 TV series was each season is 1 day, 24 hours, second by second. Each episode is 1 hour long and is every single second that goes on. It's like
yeah. So it's a great way of doing things, but I've noticed it. I think where it really annoys me is when it's in a series that was established that didn't start off that way, and then and I understand sometimes you're going to have a really, really rough day, but that's not every day. And why does everything happen? I know sometimes in real life everything happens on the same day and it sucks. But couldn't we do a week maybe?
Yeah.
So I also like seeing characters grow and learn, which you can't really get in one day either.
It does depend on how eventful the day is and how much you're part of.
But I feel like one day is the level of growth you can get in a short story. You can have a realization, you can have an epiphany, you can have maybe that's not going to work, but you can't really change your behavior in one day. Well, you don't have enough time.
I remember looking at the when I was getting ready to publish Perils, looking at the timeline and realizing it's like, this is like 2 days, 3 at the max, and then we jump forward a week.
Right. I'm okay if we jump forward to the follow-up to something and it's really only 2 half days, but I life takes time. Yeah. And some stories don't really reflect that, and so you also get stories where people travel huge distances in a blink of an eye without necessarily even in story capturing that travel distance. So
go back and sit down and see the timeline for the Lord of the Rings, right?
Right. Yeah. So popping to the comments, Greg says hi. Hello, Greg. What are you working on today? Are you playing with the puppy? Wait, did you recently put your puppy down? Am I a bad person? Ignore me if you did. Let me know what you're working on. It can be chores. It can be just hanging out. It can be grabbing a snack, because we all know Morgan is pro snack. What are you working on today, Doc?
I am going to be digging back into the Rage of Ragnarok, and I've got 2 of my crew having been kidnapped by sky pirates, and I've got to figure out how the rest of the crew goes after them. So,
I'm a punk.
What's up, Doc? Doc is a pharmaceutical company.
I actually knew that, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, did we want to go ahead and do some sprinting and get some productivity in? Okay, Greg says the puppies are fine. I misremembered. Phew. It's a good one. So,
glad to hear that.
Yes, me too. Puppies are good things. Everybody loves puppies. Although puppies might be jealous of nieces getting attention who is this close to figuring out crawling. Oh, okay. Greg says their cockatiel unfortunately died. I'm sorry. I thought I remembered, but I half remembered. So, okay. Greg says he's doing some shopping, so that's always good. Have you done your grocery shop for the week, Doc?
already got my grocery shopping in, got them all put away, and we have popsicles in the house again. So
Ooh, life
all
is
is
better
well.
with popsicles.
Hey, Greg.
So let's see. I am going to look at my bookmarks. I'm going to grab the timer. And
Greg, we got the tropicals. So it's pineapple, orange. What else? Watermelon. Yeah, it's a bunch of tropical fruit flavors.
nice. That sounds pretty awesome.
Yep.
I have a lot of strawberry shortcake to eat because it's delicious, and people ended up eating more strawberries than shortcake. No, actually, what happened is I told my friend that I wanted strawberry shortcake, and he couldn't find the little individual cakes at like the first 3 grocery stores. So he bought like 6 of them when he got somewhere. And now, because he went through so much effort to find them, I'm obligated to eat them all. But it's okay because I love strawberry shortcake. My birthday was last weekend. I am now 39. And
there's nothing
as
wrong
a
with that age.
Right, as a Labor Day week baby, while I love a lot of different desserts, it's hot in August.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. It's humid. So strawberry shortcake is a nice light dessert that's appropriate for the season, and very enjoyable in the season, especially if you do an amaretto glaze, little drizzle. Greg said the strawberries and shortcakes never come out even. True. Also,
and my wife has just made the most amazing facial expression about her dislike of amaretto.
Well, I understand, but I do love to do fairy shots. I have a strawberry core, and then you pour an amaretto, and then you put Ready Whip on top, and then you go and because you're drinking / eating out of a strawberry, it's clearly something a fairy would do. So that's why they're called fairy shots. So
we would get mixed berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, cut them up, mix them in a bowl, put sugar on them, and let them marinate in the fridge for a while, and serve that with homemade whipped cream. That was a delicious, cool dessert.
Lovely. Yeah, I love me some blackberries. Blackberries are the jam. Blackberries are my jam.
Yeah.
And I do love blackberry jam. So, my grandma used to make it.
Oh.
Has anybody else ever noticed that blackberry bushes really like to grow under power lines? Or maybe under power lines or where you can access them where they haven't been cut down? I don't know if it's cause and effect or effect and then cause.
I would think under power lines is where they would cut them down, because they're supposed to clear cut everything so they can get in and maintain the power lines.
Yeah, but they keep growing back. So
just trees, not shrubs? Okay. I don't know.
It's a vine. It's a caning vine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I am going to share my screen. I am going to share my audio. I am going to share my Chrome tab. And I'm going to get some productivity in. And maybe some strawberry shortcake. I mean.
No, I don't want strawberry.
Haha. I will be eating some in front of you so you can enjoy that experience. You're welcome.
I will go there.
So, okay, let's go ahead and get some productivity in 3, 2, 1. Boom. And we're back. How was your sprint?
It was okay. It was a little bit slow getting started off, trying to figure out, okay, I know where my characters are. How am I going to move them forward? But I got 276 words down, so at least made some progress.
That's good. That's good. I cored and chopped and diced and ate my strawberry shortcake, and it was everything I imagined it would be.
I completely missed watching that. So,
well, you can watch it in the replay.
Uh,
But also, I got two paragraphs edited.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep, just two. So getting there, but I trimmed some. It was 194 words though edited.
Okay.
So, but my one-page synopsis is not so one page. Have you heard the glory of my rants about the illusion of the 2-page synopsis?
I seem to remember reading something, but it's been a bit. It's basically it's like there is no such thing as a 2-page synopsis. Because either it's automatically too long that nobody reads it, so you need to trim it down to 1 page anyway.
No. Sometimes 3-page synopses are what people are looking for. But in publishing, I've been told anything over 1 page gets double spaced. What happens when you double space a 1-page synopsis?
It becomes twice as long.
Ding, 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 ding.
So you go from a 1-page synopsis to a 3-page synopsis.
Which is actually a page and a half. So you only have that much more space to work with. So, but yeah, 2-page synopses don't exist. But usually they ask for a synopsis without a page limit, in which case I think my 3-page synopsis is my strongest. I have a 5-page, but that was mostly a stopping point on my way down to 3. How do you write synopses? Do you write synopses? You're indie, so you don't have to, right?
I pretty much don't have to write a synopsis because I'm not giving everybody the full book. I end up having to write blurbs and back cover copy, which is just
very different purpose. It's a very different purpose.
Yeah.
A synopsis is convincing the agent that you know how to plot your way out of a paper bag.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've attended panels with Joshua Bilmes, Brandon Sanderson's agent, and he likes to say that I love the story that he tells, that Brandon kept querying him with new stories, and he really liked the writing, but the guy couldn't. That's where I got the analogy from, was from that panel. Until finally he did Name of the Wind, and he's like, finally, I can at least make something out of this. I can see where it's going. I can work with this one.
Always bring a pocket knife if you want to plot your way out of a paper bag.
Right. I think I just transposed book titles with Patrick Rothfuss, which is not the same author, but Brandon Sanderson. Yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah. So let's see. Popping over to the comments. Greg says he got some laundry in and vacuumed the house, and now he's tired. It's a burst of energy. It happens.
Well, and he just threw in the towel. He put them in the wash.
That's a good one. Yes. You'll be here all night. Yeah. So Greg says, officially with modern word processing, sometimes it gets 1.6 times longer.
It's longer.
True, but Times New Roman or Arial or Verdana, there's only a couple fonts that they prefer because they're legible and readable. I think definitely one is right. Times New Roman is if you're printing it out, and I think is it Arial or Verdana that you're supposed to use if it's on the computer. Anyway, just because
I would have thought Helvetica, but
So Greg says, assuming word and modern isn't oxymoronic. No, plenty of people use word. I mean, that's the format that we send it in, even if that's not what we're writing in. It's going to be in docx. So
it's word processing. That doesn't mean you have to use Word.
Yeah. Greg gave you the rim shot and try the veal.
I'll be here all week.
And yes, Comic Sans is actually really, really good for dyslexic people. I have some curiosities, A, about the font, but B, about people who are like, oh, I couldn't read, but I could read comic books, and that's where I learned to read. Is it because there was enough action and visuals going on with it, or was it strictly because they used Comic Sans in comics?
That's an interesting question.
Right? I'm really curious, but
you can definitely get the flow of the story just looking at the pictures in comic books. But modern comic books, you lose an awful lot because there's important concepts in the words.
Sorry, my cat's being cute.
Yes. That's what cats do.
Oh, well, he's at a bad angle, so you can't actually see him. But he likes to put his paw out and touch me. It's like man reaching out to God, and I like to think I'm the God in this situation. Maybe not, but you know.
Gilly has a tendency of I'll be sitting here minding my own business, and she will come up and she will stand on my leg and she will start to paw at me, and it's like, what do you want, cat?
Right? Yeah.
Although right now she's curled up in a ball next to me, so
yeah. Greg says word is to word processing what Cuisinart is to food processing, and what Xerox is to copying, and what Kleenex is to tissue.
Cuisinart is actually more useful. Having had a couple, but
ching. I'm not sure on the Rocky Horror analogy. I lost track of the thread. Hello. But anyway, catechism.
Horror is the horror? No.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe. What a cute kitty. I'm sorry, my cat is cuter than yours, but probably awful.
You said touch me, so Rocky Horror.
Oh, right. Yes. I get that now. Touch me. Okay. Anyway, let's not song.
Let's keep a clean rating on the street.
Right? So yeah, how did you tell me how your sprint was?
I said 276 words.
Right. Yes, and we clapped, and he was productive, and I got through 2 chapters. So, do we feel like doing another sprint?
Well, unless somebody else is going to start piping up in the chat room, I guess we kind of have to.
No. We don't. The cat is gnawing on my microphone cable.
This is not a tenable position.
Well, I mean, he was laying there, and I'm totally fine with that. But when he starts gnawing, is when we stop. We don't chew cables. Unfortunately, he doesn't speak English, so it's a little slow going. He heard that, and he's like, "Where's this cat?" He is unamused. He has his unamused.
Welcome to another session of Messing with Catechus.
Greg says, "Shocking. The cat might get grounded." Well, if he's holding my paw when he gnaws on it, that might be bad for me.
That would be bad for you, yeah. But it would be an electrifying experience.
Yeah, but it's only powered as much as you can get through a USB. So, what's the voltage on that?
It's not the voltage that'll kill you; it's the amperes. No.
Sorry, what's the ampage on that? See? And he moved.
Yep.
And we're reinstating the towel. So, Greg thinks it's 5 amps.
Yep.
I think I'll live and might not even lose consciousness. So anyway, let's see. Where's this timer? I think I know how to reset it. Let's go ahead and see if I can get through this silly synopsis in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, 5 volts, not amps. And we're back. While we were gone, Greg clarified that 5 amps will indeed kill you. 5 volts is what you don't need to worry about. And my cat was a fierce hunter of mice.
Of toy mice, right? Yep. Okay.
Are you a mouse hunter? Are you a hunter of mice? Do you hunt mice? Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Not this time. Go get it. You got it. Fierce hunter of mice. So I worked on trimming my synopsis because it had crept into 2 pages. And well, does it count? Do I have to count the title and that extra line under it?
I don't know.
They are indeed felt mice.
Yes.
Let's see what happens if I delete where it says the title, Lillivant's Goddess, synopsis, and that extra space. 1 page. It is 1 page.
Okay.
So
you just need to get the title up into the headers of the page so it doesn't push the text down.
Oh, true. I can totally toss that into the header. Insert header, Lillivant's goddess. I was about to do goddess, and I don't think goddesses are made out of cod, but you know.
It's the catechist goddess, right?
I don't know that he's had fish. Did you drop your mouse? Did you drop your mouse? You dropped your mouse? Oh my goodness. Is this your mouse?
Oh, dear.
I found his mouse.
Whatever shall you do with it?
Try to hand it to him and have him fling it on the floor again.
Or either that or yeet it across the room and let him chase after it.
Right? So, Patrick, hello and welcome. Patrick says I should show us the margin on the right side of the page.
This is true. You can always play with your margins a bit.
I'm not cheating. It is, in fact, 12-point font, regular spacing. Here we go. Let me share my screen. I'm going to share my window.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look at that. A perfectly normal page with normal sides and paragraph startings and stuff. It's still in draft, but I just added the header. So look. I do not have, the lines are pretty full. Okay, I stopped scrolling. Please don't judge it. I still need to read through it 2 more times.
So is that a convention that you capitalize all the letters in character?
In a synopsis. Wait. So there are no spaces between M dashes? I'm so torn. I keep finding, yes, you do, and then no, you don't. And I don't know which way it is. But I do know that Word is really, really bad at deciding.
I don't think Word puts an M dash, it makes a dash into an M dash until after you got spaces around it and word after.
Yeah. So
I think the names are in all caps the first time the character is mentioned.
Yeah, anytime you use a name in a synopsis, you're supposed to cap locks just the first usage to recognize that, yes, this is a new name, a new terminology. So. Unless it's at the end of a line, in which case I don't want to put the space back in because then it will. So, yeah. So now you know the entire plot of my story.
If you could read that fast.
If you could read that. Right. So yes. So now Greg knows something more about the manuscript publishing industry than he did before. Patrick says, drag is dragged. As I said, it's still being edited. Please don't judge me. Because I combined my query with my synopsis, and the tenses and stuff don't necessarily match up. And I'm trying to trim it down, as I said. So, but I did have to put in that she's a tattoo artist so that the ending makes sense, where she realizes how to use the ink to do things. And I added in the moral thing here. So Greg says, any day I can learn something is a good day. Well, I'm glad I could help. And Patrick says, right, that's why I'm not capitaling at you. Capitaling? I guess that means telling me not to capitalize, which you do not do in queries, even though people try to.
Is that like a portmanteau of capitalize and catcalling?
I don't think so. So
is that a verb?
Is that a verb?
I mean, English, anything can be a verb.
Patrick loves verbs and hates nouns, and I use way too many nouns when I should be using verbs. It is known. I'm working on it. It's a problem. Also, it's somewhat of a genre standard. So, yeah, Patrick says, using many capital letters to squeamish. Yes, then I know. I see capitaling. No, not a port. In queries, like 20%. Yeah, a lot of people try to capitalize names in queries when it's used in synopses instead, because it's really confusing to people who are unfamiliar with the process.
Yeah.
So, Greg says, versing weirds nouns. I believe he meant verbing weirds nouns.
Yeah, go 2 messages down. Verbing, not versing.
Verbing. I knew exactly what you meant. I am very familiar with that concept. So I'm now going to take away my synopsis before Patrick shames me. Or wait, maybe we can look at it, because I know Patrick is tired of looking at his own.
You got to verb your nouns and noun your verbs.
Damn you, autocorrupt.
Yes.
I assume that was not a typo.
Well, it definitely wasn't typed with autocorrupt on.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Y'all don't need to edit it with me. But I did put in stuff at the beginning that comes full circle at the end, which is really nice in synopses and helps show that I know how to plot and pace. And hopefully agents agree that I know what I'm doing.
It's nice in the books, too.
Right?
It brings closure and all kinds of things. It makes the reading experience satisfactory.
Yeah, although I totally have it set up for a sequel. I admit it. Okay, maybe I will reshare it just for a second.
Do the successful thing.
I would say that sets it up for a sequel, as my main character has just been tasked with the thing and stuff.
Oh, it's a guess.
Right. But I would like to argue in my favor, she is not a chosen one. She has opted to do this thing, and the goddess said, continue.
Okay. But didn't it start out with her goddess basically putting a mark of disfavor on her?
That's not actually what it was. That was a temple lie.
Ah, okay.
So far it's a duology. But the sequel is a super rough draft. And that's when I learned I like to have names pre-selected for my world before I start fast drafting. Because this is the one I have perhaps mentioned before that has my fantasy story with Alice, Bob, Carol, Dave, Edward, going through the alphabet in order with names that don't match, and they're fighting Canada.
Yeah, I should have done that when I started writing Kindred of Kali. Because
because I can lose like 2 hours picking one name, and that's no momentum. So picking out a list of names before hand that all have different lengths and different ending vowels and different starting letters really helps, so that way you can grab and go and keep going. But yeah, I heard fantasy with a duology instead of a trilogy. Can it be done?
It has been.
I mean, that's the problem, I think, with a lot of fantasy writers is you need certain amount of people to buy the book so that the publisher will take the risk on the next one when you go traditional publishing. But all of us fantasy writers have the issue of, fantasy readers have the issue of, oh, there's only one book. Let me wait until the first 3 come out. You need the full trilogy, and then the prequel trilogy, and then the spin-off trilogy, and
now you've got people who are worried about series that they don't want to get into the series until it's done.
Right.
Except the authors can't get publishers to publish the whole series because the sales aren't high enough.
And this is why series never finish, is because So Patrick asks, does Canada have a standing army or just a bunch of beavers chewing on the lone magazine? They have a navy, actually, more so than anything else. But we have a magical border, and the problem with freeing everybody from the entrapment of the temple using their magic to empower the border means when you free the people, the border comes down. Consequences escalate in book 2.
So if Canada was feeling warlike, they now have a perfect opportunity.
They do. Would you like to check out my cat's tail? Look at that curve. It's a good curve. Yeah. So Greg noticed that I was indeed hi. Just making sure you're not chewing on cables, because there are cables back there. Yes. How Star Wars, how George R.R. Martin, the sequel with the prequel in the series that will never end.
Well, mine's a series that will never end because it is an open-ended episodic series. If I come up with a story, I can tell.
Episodic is fine for that.
Yeah, but people are so used to it's a turtle. People are so used to she held up a cat toy turtle. It's a screen. No.
It has a pocket for catnip, but I haven't nipped him yet.
Oh.
Did you get the turtle?
People these days are so used to series that is a single story arc over several books.
Yeah.
That you have to keep reminding them this is an episodic story. Each book stands alone.
Yeah. So that can be really tricky. And a couple of times I've had people reach out to tell me about short story opportunities in shared universes, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable if I haven't read all the books because I want to do justice to the characters, and I don't have enough time to read all this stuff because I have all this other stuff going on. So I end up not writing in other people's worlds.
Yeah, see, I've written in other people's worlds as long as I feel like I've got a space that I can make my own.
Right. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I just, I want to do the story and world justice. And I know plenty of people grew up on fanfic. I grew up on homebrew. You know, I totally wrote stories as kids, but they were all in my own universe, not in somebody else's playground. Because I guess I've always loved the world building part of writing. So not that, you know, I totally read fanfic. I enjoy much of it, but that's not what I write. Because I don't want to get your thing wrong.
Well, that's what good editing is for. Because if you're writing in somebody else's world, they need to provide an editor.
Right. So Greg would like to remind us that it is indeed turtles all the way down. Oh, your turtle's behind the... Oh, so the problem with where my desk is it butts up to the edge of my kitchen counter, or I have a kitchen island.
Kitchen island, yes.
It's on the backside of the kitchen island. But the problem is the table goes up and down. Mm-hmm. So I can't have it pressed up against it, which gives us just enough space for someone to drop his toys behind it.
Ah.
In case you were wondering where I was going with that.
Okay.
But yes. I cleared off space here so he doesn't have to sit here in between me and my keyboards to hang out with me. And it's working really, really well.
Cool.
So let me see if I can camera it.
Hello.
So you see how there's that space right there?
Mm-hmm.
So before he was like behind the laptop on the towel covering the things and stuff. Oh no, now I'm caught in the cables and I can't put the feet down.
Desk quake.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Hi, I'm back. That was very exciting for all of you, right?
I'm sure.
So yeah. Okay, well, let's...
Oh, I got 371 words written the last sprint.
Nice. So, Patrick, did you want to throw me somebody else's query to rewrite? I could do that this sprint. Or maybe the sprint after. Let me know what works for you.
Greg, how'd you do for the sprint? You still doing laundry? Or you should get everything else. Do something else. Is anybody out there?
Of course. So, well, let me take this off and stop screen share so I can share the timer. Share audio, very key. Oh, nice. Greg got the bathroom sink cleaned.
Woot.
So.
And the dryer just buzzed.
Well, perfect. Let's go ahead and get started so you can do some laundry stuff. Yup. Okay, then let's get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back.
Yep.
I read through it. I kind of like my own synopsis. I'm happy with it. I think it can go out now, but I think I need to tweak a little bit of the query, because in your query, you've got the first third in there, and I reworded some stuff in the synopsis that I think will convert back to the query pretty well. Basically, a couple things where I had descriptions that would make more sense in the other order.
Okay.
How was your sprint?
I got in another 332 words.
Nice, pretty solid.
Going at a decent pace.
Yeah.
Still kind of figuring out how I'm going here. This is my characters have just captured an enemy airplane, and they're looking at it, trying to figure it out, and neither one of them knows how to fly.
I mean, that is a problem.
And part of it is kind of like, okay, am I going to end up keeping this part of the scene, or do I kind of need to get through it so I can figure out what I'm going to write about next? So,
yeah, I hear that one. That's definitely a problem.
Yeah, or do I need to keep it just because later they're actually going to be flying this plane, and then I get to figure out whether or not they actually got things right or not. So the guesswork might be important. All right. So do we still have Greg and Patrick? How did they do?
I don't know. That's a very good question. They may be distracted with the folding.
Talk to us,
guys. My cat has settled down. We had a stare off for a bit. I threatened him, and finally spritzed him in the face. He sulked and then came back, and now he's napping.
Gilly got up and yelled at me for a while, and then finally stalked off to go get food.
Legit. Oh, he's probably low on food, but...
Well, she is, but...
I meant Catechus.
Oh. He's running out of fuel, and that's why he's being quiet and lying down?
No. That's, maybe why he would... Well, I mean, I haven't been home often enough, and he needs more attention. It is known.
But now I have a trill. Hello, girl.
Hi. Who's a pretty girl? Huh. My house feels warmer than it should. Hello. Hi, girl. She's got the yes, I'm gorgeous face on. So. Oh, okay. You're being productive. I'm being productive. You want to do another sprint? Or do you have things to do and dinner to eat?
We haven't even talked about dinner, so.
I have leftover tikka masala, so I know what I'm having for dinner. Oh, and a samosa. So.
And a samosa.
My life is about to be delicious.
Apparently.
With Rita?
We at least have fresh groceries, but that means cooking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Don't you hate it when you go to the grocery store or you order groceries and then your house is full of ingredients and nothing to eat?
Mm-hmm. And usually no energy to cook it.
Right?
Looks like we got Patrick.
Yep. He cut about 100 words. He's chopping his picture book. The one with the dinosaurs where you cut out the ankylosaurus and didn't even think about the Tyrannosaurus.
So if you're editing a picture book and you remove a picture, does that mean you've got negative 1,000 words?
That's a good one. What's your favorite dinosaur?
I've always been partial to the Brontosaurus.
Very classic. I went to the dinosaur talk, what's new in dinosaurs, at Balticon several years ago, and I looked at all the dinosaurs, and I determined I knew exactly what my favorite one was.
And it was.
And it's the Tyrannosaurus, which is the coolest of all the duck-billed ones.
Okay.
So
Don't think I'm familiar with that one, but
I will help you.
You say it's a duck-billed dinosaur, then that helps at least get me in the right ballpark.
Right. That's yeah. I mean, most people know. And I looked at all the different duck-billed ones and decided this was the coolest of all of them. So.
Okay.
So. I think that's the vision I like the best.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty solid, and yeah, so not too big. So yeah. Let's see. Patrick says he's not working on the dinosaur. He's working on Victoria and the marker swords. But his story does have an Apatosaurus fruit picker, the dinosaur one, obviously. And Patrick, yay, says I can have my duck-billed dinosaur in this sequel, which, since it's not that kind of fantasy, people might not wait for. I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
Goodness. Did I mention I'm allergic to cats?
I believe you have, yes.
So I know the Tyrannosaurus is not the most popular. And it took me a while to realize that it should be Tyrannosaurus, not Charon, because it's named after the boatman, which is pretty cool. But okay. I was told that the Greeks do the CH as a K instead of a Ch.
It's a Tyrannosaurus? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a ferryman saur? It's a ferryman.
Yeah. It's got the coolest name. Greg folded laundry lists me, and yet I own a cat. I mean, who really owns who?
You needed a roommate. This one makes less demands on you than others, so
right. I might be slightly more of a puppy person, but I have a cat lifestyle, and so I'm only moderate allergic to cats. So, and this one's been around long enough that his kisses do not make me break out in a rash. So,
well, that's good. You're getting used to it.
Win-win. And I'm getting daily inoculations of cat saliva by him biting the bleep out of me.
Yep.
So, Patrick says, chiasmus choir echo. Oh, chiasmus. I don't know that word. Chiasmus. I don't know that word. Echo all have the K sound.
I'm not familiar with it either. But,
I thought the folded laundry was blessing me in their own language, but I understand that your keyboard is not your friend. So these things happen. There we go. Oh. Chiasmus. I'm going to have to Google it because repeating the word doesn't tell me what it means. It is a rhetorical or literary figure in which words, grammatical constructions, or concepts are repeated in reverse order in the same or a modified form. Poetry is the record of the best and happiest moments of the best and happiest minds. Oh, nice. Patrick said, you said chiasmus, which, ow.
Chiasmus.
Chiasmus is what my computer just told me. So, Well, that's fun. I enjoy using that literary grammatical construction where you repeat, hearts and minds and hearts and minds and that sort of thing.
Hearts and minds. Hearts.
Right. Oh, sorry. Successive phrases or clauses, but no repetition. So you escalate time. Best and happiest moments with the happiest and best minds. So evocative without necessarily repeating. which I definitely enjoy. You get the call back, which is always fun. So thank you, Patrick. I learned a new thing, and I do enjoy it. So using that technique, I think, more intentionally is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I am ready for another sprint, but you might have a life.
No, I could do another.
Okay, then let's go ahead and do another sprint because I think I'm going to be prepping next week's author spotlight interview. As Doc knows, I do spotlight interviews where I interview a author, typically one with a book coming out recently or that has come out recently. And they talk about their own writing tips and writerly musings, which is, my exact niche.
Ta-da. No.
So Greg says Greg has a life and or is hungry. So he's heading out. Say hi to Pam for us. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend, which is probably not look like mine because work has me working 6 days a week.
But not today.
But not today. But I am getting holiday pay. So that's pretty awesome.
So they're making you work tomorrow on the holiday.
They are indeed, but I'm getting paid for the holiday and for going in. So, we have a new person. Hello over on Twitch. We have Slap Bass Drum Gaming. Hello and welcome. I'm Morgan, and this is my friend Doc. And right now we are hanging out, and what are we doing? We're doing a thing. We're doing productivity sprints. That's what we're doing. So yeah. I can just call Slap Bass Drum Gaming Slap Bass Drum because that's their name. Awesome. Good to know. Didn't I used to have like people's names under their picture? What happened to that?
Bless you. My cat just exploded into sneezes. So.
Oh dear, I hear that happens. So Slap Bass Drum, what are you working on today? Do you have any certain projects or pictures or anything you're working on? Any games? Slap Bass Drum is part of the Whimsical Orchestra and can show us a photo of their friends. So that's pretty awesome. I'm assuming you play the slap bass drum, but I mean, that may be presumptuous of me. Oh, there we go. It was the view because we'd switched to presentation view, but I didn't switch back. That's how I got rid of the names accidentally. So awesome. Well, I have things to do and you have things to do. So let's go ahead and do another productivity sprint.
Okay.
Because I shared my screen, I have to walk through the whole silly process again. I'm getting faster at this, right?
You need a macro for that.
Right. So there we go. Let's go ahead. Oh, and Slap Bass Drum says, hello, Doc Coleman.
How's it going?
Right. So, okay, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. He is the author of steampunk books, but not the book Steampunk. He has written the Perils of Prague and other related short stories.
Yep. The Perils of Prague and The Shining Cog and Other Steampunk Tales is a collection of short stories.
And MM Ward swung by. Hello. Did Sako finish?
I like to think that all my short stories are good, but I know Morgan has read my novel and she liked it a lot.
I also beta read one of your shorts and enjoyed it as well. I haven't read that many short stories, but I have. I spent a lot of the pandemic listening to some of the authors I follow reading their short works on YouTube. Slap Bass Drum is thinking you should write a book about Scotland. That's not really your place, is it?
Well, my characters are actually exiled from England, so theoretically they might go to Scotland. I did write a short story in somebody else's world that was actually set in Loch Ness. So, and that's in The Shining Cog.
That's right. Okay, that sounds super fun.
Oh, nice. Scotland is a beautiful place. Honeymoon there with my wife. Obviously,
nice.
You don't honeymoon with other people usually.
Well, you could have honeymooned with your ex-wife if you had one.
This is true.
But you chose the better the better option there. To get it right the first time.
It's been darn near 30 years.
30 years, right?
I mean, when you get it right the first time. what the ever-loving, sorry. Okay, and we're back. How was your sprint, Doc?
Just trying to figure that out.
I almost finished an author spotlight. I just need to upload one more picture and then put together the tagline, and I'm good to go. So
I got 385 words in.
that is a solid sprint. Good work.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that.
I would not be sad with that one.
No, but we took a little bit of time talking with the newcomers.
Right.
Newcomers. There we go. Right in the middle of the sprint, and that was a little distracting. I was kind of surprised to get that kind of words in.
Okay. Well, I totally missed it. So let me pop over to the chat and see where we are. Let's see. Ward, Miss Sako stream went to the grocery store on a holiday weekend. That's pretty brave. Slap Bass Drum has traveled to Scotland with their mom since 2016, so that's nice. And would like to let us know that they're going to be on Lucy Rishow's original whimsical orchestra song. That's awesome.
Okay.
And Ward's hubby's brother decided to propose to his girlfriend of 8 years at a castle in Scotland. And she said no to him in front of 24 people. 6 months later, she broke up with the guy she was cheating on him with and claimed she changed her mind about getting married. Oh my goodness. Someday it's going in a book. I hear that.
Yeah.
Slap Bass Drum thinks I should try out the candle timer from Online Stopwatch. I really like my arpeggio at the end, and so few really have like music I like because I like really soothing stuff, but I will definitely check it out. Let's see. Scotland is apparently a lovely place to not get engaged because he was the 4th person she knew who didn't get engaged there.
Oh my.
So Slutbased Drum asks if I am also a voice actor. I am. I do voices for Anansi Storytime. Anansi, like the spider. We do folk tales and fairy tales from around the world, and you can find us on spiderstorytime.com. Wait, www.spiderstorytime.com. Without the W's, it doesn't get you there. Don't know why. And other Legendsmith productions. So we also do an audio drama showcase where we check out other podcasts that do audio dramas and things and stuff.
Yeah, actually, we're both voice actors, but I've
yes,
been kind of semi-retired for a while. I've done some voice acting for different productions and some narration. But
that's pretty awesome.
I'm going to be getting back in that soon when I narrate my own book for Audible. So
that's pretty awesome. And Ward got 211 words. Very solid. Very solid. Patrick deleted several and realized how to do the scene so it's right for a picture book. Oh my goodness. That's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling when you realize how it needs to come together for the group. So let's see. Use the Kindle timer full screen. 20, 21, set. Oh yeah, I think I did originally look at online stopwatch, and then I hated all the pop-up ads.
Oh,
so
I can see that,
but it's not bad. What's the end noise though? I don't know. I will experiment. But for now, I'm enjoying the arpeggio that plays at the end of my current one. So, well, it is basically 7 o'clock. I think people might be wanting dinner. So yeah, let's go ahead and call it an evening and head off. I might be on Twitch later, might be, I'm experimenting with Twitch and doing stuff, but right now I'm dual streaming via StreamYard. So I have I don't have all the capabilities that a straight up Twitch streamer has.
Yeah.
So, Doc, did you want to tell people about you and where to find you and what you do?
Okay. I am Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. You can find my website and my blog and my Amazon author page by Googling Doc Coleman Steampunk. If you leave the steampunk off, you get a lot of other stuff about Doc Holliday and other people named Coleman. But Doc Coleman Steampunk gets you to my stuff. As I said, I've got the novel.
Or you can check out the links below. Oh wait, that's only on YouTube. Sorry.
Or you can go to the YouTube site for this, or the YouTube page for this, and look at the links below. But I've got The Perils of Prague, which is my first novel. I've got a collection of short stories that's The Shining Cog and Other Steampunk Tales. The latest anthology I was in is Paradise Found, Tales from the Library. That's about the Library of Alexandria in the afterlife. Lots of interesting stories from a lot of other authors there.
Sweet.
Yep.
And I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively querying fantasy writer, which means my stuff's not out yet. But hopefully I will find an agent and a publisher, and they will love me and shower me with money and that external validation that we all desperately crave. This week on my podcast, Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, found everywhere you can find podcasts. I talked about how to beta read one writer style because what works for me might not work for you. And on the YouTubes and the blog this week, I did a Writer's Two Worlds, Notes from Imaginarium, talking about how to balance your writing with the fact you live in the real world and you have other stuff to do. Presumably, I mean, you do you. So you can find me everywhere as Morgan Hazelwood, morganhazelwood.com, YouTube/Morgan Hazelwood, Twitch TV/Morgan Hazelwood. I have a problem. On Twitter, Morgan Hazelwood. Someday that unused account will be mine. So in the comments, Mama Ward says they're going to the Balloon Festival Glow tonight and just dropped in a few words to get them in on this busy weekend. Slap bass drum game. Shamelessly said follow them on Twitch. And I am a voice actor. So, oh, hey, and you found me on Twitter. Hello. So I'm everywhere you want to be and probably places you don't care about as well. So have a lovely evening, a lovely weekend, and whatever you're working on, whatever projects you have going in your life, I hope they go smoothly and that you find your audience. So have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.